Hare Krishna, dear devotees, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. I welcome everybody to ISV's online Wednesday program. So today we will be discussing how Maharaja Parikshit received the curse. So before we get started, I offer my respectful obeisances to all my Shiksha Gurus and my Diksha Guru and ISV temple authorities for giving this opportunity to discuss Krishna Katha. So in order to invoke auspiciousness, we will first recite Mangalacharan prayers. So these are set of the prayers. Although we have Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, in order to understand the essence, we need mercy and blessings of the previous acharyas, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Radharani, and Lord Sri Krishna. So in order to invoke auspiciousness, we will do these Mangalacharan prayers. So Mahaprabhu, Radharani, and okay, for a moment I heard my own echo. Okay, now it's not coming. So, Prabhu, if you can share those Mangalacharan prayers.
Let me go ahead and share my screen.
ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनाशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कान्ता राधा कान्ता नमोऽस्तु ते। तप्त कांचना गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे रामा राम राम हरे हरे। मत्समो नास्ति पापात्मा नपराधी च कश्चन परिहारेऽपि लज्जा मे किं ब्रुवे पुरुषोत्तम। युवतीनां यथा योनि यूनां च युवतौ यथा मनोभिरमते तद्वन्मनो मे रमतां त्वयि। भूमौ स्खलितपादानां भूमिरेवावलम्बनं त्वयि जातापराधानां त्वामेव शरणं प्रभो। गोविन्दवल्लभे राधे प्रार्थये त्वमहं सदा त्वदीयम् इति जानातु गोविन्दो मां त्वया सह। राधे वृन्दावनाधीशे करुणामृतवाहिनी कृपया निजपादाब्जा दास्यं मह्यं प्रदीयताम्। तृणादपि सुनीचेन तरोरपि सहिष्णुना मानिना मानदेन कीर्तनीयः सदा हरिः। कथञ्चन स्मृते यस्मिन् दुष्करं सुकरं भवेत् विस्मृते विपरीतं स्यात् श्रीचैतन्यं नमामि तम्। संसारदुःखजलधौ प्रथितस्य कामा क्रोधादिनक्रमकरे कवलीकृतस्य दुर्वासना निगडितस्य निराश्रयस्य चैतन्यचन्द्र मम देहि पदावलम्बम्। चैतन्यचन्द्र मम देहि पदावलम्बम्। हरे कृष्णा। we will do a small kirtan and then we will go with the katha today. So, Prabhu, if you can project Jai Radha Madhava. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Giridharadhari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Giridharadhari. Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana. Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana. Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana. Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana. Yamuna Tira Avanachari. Yamuna Tira Avanachari. Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Giridharadhari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Giridharadhari. Yashodanandana Rajana Ranjana. Yashodanandana Rajana Ranjana. Yashodanandana Rajana Ranjana. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Giridharadhari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Giridharadhari. Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana. Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana. Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana. Yamuna Tira Avanachari. Yamuna Tira Avanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Giridharadhari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Giridharadhari. Yashodanandana Gajajana Ranjana. Yashodanandana Gajajana Ranjana. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Nitya Gaura Haribol, Nitya Gaura Haribol. श्रीमान महाप्रभु की जय, श्री राधा मदन मोहन की जय, श्री लक्ष्मी नरसिंहदेव की जय, प्रहलाद महाराज की जय, जगत गुरु शिल प्रभुपाद की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय. हरे कृष्णा. So I hope I'm audible. If somebody can say if I'm clearly audible.
Yes, Prabhu, you are audible now. During Kirtan, there was a slight muffling of voice, but it was okay overall.
Thank you, Prabhu. I changed the Zoom settings, so but I think now I changed to the default.
Yeah, now it's quite clear.
Yeah, thank you so much, Prabhu.
Mm.
So I once again thank my Siksha Gurus and my Diksha Guru and all the ISV temple authorities for giving this opportunity to discuss Krishna Katha. So today we will be going in the journey talking about how Maharaj, who is first of all, who is Maharaj Parikshit and how he received the curse. And more importantly, we'll discuss like what is Parikshit Maharaj made of and what is his character, what is his background, what is his dynasty, and then how he was ruling and what are his characteristics and what are the lessons that we can learn from this whole episode. So we'll go through that. I'm seeking permission and blessings of my Siksha Gurus, Diksha Guru, and all the assembled Vaishnavas here. You're all Vaishnavas, so I offer my respectful obeisances at your lotus feet, seeking your permission and blessings. We'll get started today. So we all know who is Arjun. Arjuna is one of the Pandavas and is also a great devotee of the Lord. And then Lord personally spoke Bhagavad Gita to him before the battle of Kurukshetra. And then Arjuna had a son named Abhimanyu, and Abhimanyu's son is Parikshit Maharaj. So we will see in the dynasty. I won't go to too many details, but I will kind of talk about few episodes so that people who are hearing this pastime about Parikshit Maharaj will know what he is made of, what dynasty is coming from, and his characteristics. So if you see Arjun, I will talk about few pastimes of what is the valor of Arjun. So Arjuna is a great warrior, and among his times, his teacher declared that he is the Sarvasresht Dhanurdhar, which means that at that time on the planet, Arjuna is the best warrior with bows and arrows. So that is his greatness, and his one of his name is Vijayi. So any battle, any whether it is one-on-one combat or any battle he went, he never returned defeated. So he's always victorious. So that is why he's also one of the name is Vijayi. So as part of the gambling match, they were unfairly sent to the forest, and we all know that how the Pandavas have to go to the forest, abiding by evil-minded King Dhritarashtra and his son Duryodhana, playing this dice game by unfair means. They were sent to the forest, so they have to be in the forest for 12 years, and then they have to be in incognito for 1 year. And in the last year, they should be in incognito. That means they should not be found out by anyone. And if somebody finds them, they have to again go back and again start over the forest time from the beginning. So the plan of Duryodhana is that they will find out during that Ajnatabas, which is the incognito mode, and then they'll again send them to the forest. So at this time, during the last period of Ajnatabas, which stayed for 1 year, the mode of incognito, so they all took different forms. So Yudhishthir took the form of Kanka, and they all were in Virata, in the kingdom of Virata. And he went as a person who is just entertaining the king with the game of dice. So that is how Yudhishthir went. And then Bhima became Vallabha, who is the cook. And Arjuna, he had a curse that he will become a eunuch because he did not satisfy Rambha's request when he went into the Swargaloka, in the heavenly abodes. So, but again, at the time, the Indra, he came and he revised that curse, and he said that it will be effective only for 1 year. And it came to of use for Arjuna. So he became a eunuch. And in that, he's wearing a sari and he's having braid of hair, and he's just like a musician. He's teaching music lessons to the daughter of King of Virat. So, and then Nakula and Sahadeva, they were all taking care of the Goshalas. So that is what they were doing. And then their names were Tantripala and Grantika. So Brihannala was Arjuna, Kanka, Vallabha, Tantripala, and Grantika. These are all the Pandavas. They were residing in the king of Virata. So now the evil-minded Duryodhana, he planned that somehow we have to capture these people. So he heard that Kichaka is one of the very strong personalities, Kichaka. He died. And then Duryodhana knew that Kichaka can be killed only by very few people because he is very strong. And one of those few people is Balram himself, or Duryodhana, and Bhima, and Bhishma. So all these people are not there. So somehow this person might be killed by only Bhima. So he wants to attack this kingdom. So he told, because Kichaka is dead now, Kichaka was also the commander-in-chief for this king of Matsya Desh, in the Virata's king. So when Kichaka is dead, now everybody is flaring up because they wanted to loot the kingdom. They wanted to add their kingdom. So that is their plans. So Duryodhana asked Susharma, who is the king of Trigarta, to go and attack. So immediately he went and attacked the Matsya Desh, where all these Pandavas were staying as incognito. And when they attacked, immediately the king, he had several sons, and everybody was saying that everybody is making preparations. And then they also choose these four people, Kanka, Vallabha, Tantripala, and Grantika, who are none other than the Pandavas except Arjuna. All these four, that includes Bhima. So they gave them the armors, and then they gave them the weapons and everything, and they were going for a war. So Trigarda army is like very, very powerful. So when they were doing this, finally it's a very long battle, but um, at some point the king of Virata was captured by Susharma. So Susharma is the king of the opposite party who attacked Trigartas, and then he captured um, Virata king, and he is taking him in his chariot. So immediately Yudhishthir said that we all stayed and we all recited in this kingdom, and then we were hiding here as incognito mode, and they gave us shelter. So somehow we have to protect this king. So immediately ordered Bhima, you go and get, and Nakula and Sahadeva, you also go. So when King Yudhishthir ordered his brothers, immediately Bhima was so excited, so excited. So he was so strong and he was waiting for an opportunity to fight. And these kind of opportunities come very rare. So he was so excited that he was trying to go and uproot a sal tree. He's holding a sal tree and he's trying to uproot it. So immediately Yudhishthira warned, hey Bhima, don't forget that we are still in incognito. So don't reveal yourself as Bhima. If you do these kind of supernatural feats, everyone will come to know that you are Bhima. So just go and fight like a natural warrior. So immediately all these three people, Nakula, Sahadeva, and Bhima, they all went, and then they were fighting. And Bhima, when he has this gada in his hand, which is the mace, he was like swirling it, and as he's moving it, he was hitting and he was killing like hundreds and hundreds of soldiers. And then with all this, then finally he went very swiftly and very fastly to Susharma, who is actually carrying King Virat, and he challenged him, and he looked back and he saw that these three people were fighting very, with valor. And then he immediately stopped, and then there was a dual fight between Susharma and Bhima. So Bhima immediately, without any problem, he challenged him, and then with his mace, he was fighting, and then finally he defeated the other person, Susharma, and then he put him on the ground and he put his knee on his chest, and then he hit him on his face. And like that, the person got swooned. Swoon means like he got fainted. Susharma got fainted. Then he dragged him, and he got him in front of the king, and he said, what should we do? Should we kill him or should we leave him? So by the time Susharma came to his consciousness, and then he looked at him, and the king, Virata king, said that just leave them to their life. So that's how, just left it. And because they won this war, the custom in those days is basically whenever a team, a group of soldiers, when they win the war, they will sleep in the opposite person's camp. So basically they were sleeping there itself. They put all the tents and everything, and they were sleeping there. And as the sun is rising, Duryodhana and whole of Kaurava army, they conquered. They completely are coming from the opposite direction. So, and then, so when they are coming, there is no king there. So basically, the message came, and the whole ocean of Kaurava army, and then the Bhuminjaya is the only son who is left in the kingdom. And he said that, okay, this is a great opportunity for me to fight. So at that time, he was thinking that, okay, I will go and fight, but I don't have a chariot driver, because everybody is in this, they already went to deal with this Trigarta army, and he doesn't have anyone. So when they are discussing like that, Draupadi, who is in Sairandri mode, she is the hair decorator for the queen. She was also hiding incognito. So Draupadi came and told that, Arjuna, the great warrior, whenever he goes for war, he used to take Bruhanala as the chariot driver. So, but Bhuminja and everybody was saying, they were making fun. Bruhanala is a eunuch. How come, he will be able to get into this kind of a warfare? So it's not fair. But finally, when Sairandri told that, even Arjuna, the great warrior, used to take him. So finally he agreed. So Bruhannala, who's nothing but Arjuna, so she's actually sitting on the chariot, and she's trying to drive the chariot. And then Bhuminjaya is actually the hero trying to go and fight the war. So as they go closer to the war zone, Bhuminjaya sees that his whole vision is filled completely, and wherever he sees, he's seeing soldiers, and he's seeing big, big flags of Dronacharya and Pitamaha, Bhishma, and all these people, great, great grandsires, everybody, great, great warriors, everybody is there. Karna is there, Ashwatthama is there, Krupacharya is there. So these are all like very, very great fighters, Maharathis. So immediately got scared and he started running back. So when he is running back, immediately Brihanala, who is nothing but Arjuna, she told, why are you running? It will not befit you. And then he tells him, okay, if you're not fighting, you drive the chariot and I will fight. And he says, take the chariot to this tree, and on top of that, there is a dead body. So basically, Brihanala says that bring down the dead body. So Bhuminjaya, he doesn't know what to do. Finally, he says that, okay, he'll bring the dead body, and he opens and he sees that there are all weapons. So all kinds of celestial weapons are there. Immediately, there is this Gandiva, which is Arjuna's bow, and he strings that, and he says that now he reveals. So, and then he, looking at all these armor and weaponry, he was saying that these are the weapons of such great warriors. Who are you? And then he reveals himself that he is Arjuna. And then, because of an incognito situation, he was hiding in the form of Brihanala. Now he understood. And then, so Bhuminjaya now agrees because he has great respect for Arjun. And then Arjuna asks him to sit on the chariot and drive. And before he starts, he blows his conch shell named Devadatta. So when he blows the conch shell, so Bhuminjaya is actually driving the chariot. He has the strings, and Arjuna is blowing the conch shell. When he blew the conch shell, the sound was so loud that immediately Bhuminjaya fell flat on the ground. It's like a shockwave for him. He fell flat on the ground, and the horses were kneeling down and they were screaming. All the horses were kneeling down, and the sound was deafening. And then, with a great shock, he looks back and he sees that Arjuna is actually blowing his conch shell. Now Arjuna warns him, okay, I blew my conch shell very slowly last time. Now I'm going to blow it like 100 and 1,000 times louder than the previous. So be steady. Then he immediately closes his ears very tightly, and he holds the strings very tightly. And he blows his conch shell, Devadatta. So, and after that, he takes his bow and then he strings it. And this is the Gandiva bow. And he pulls the string to the end till his ear, and he leaves it without any arrow. So the sound that bow has made, it's as if two mountains were colliding, and it is deafening. And with these two indications, as soon as the conch shell is blown, all the Kaurava army is alert now. Oh, this is Arjuna's conch shell. And then as soon as they heard the bow, they immediately recognized that, wow, this is the bow of Arjuna. And then everybody was like fearful, and immediately Duryodhana came down with joy. He's running down and he says, yes, I caught the Pandavas. I caught the Pandavas. And then he went straight to the grandfather Bhishma, and he's saying that, see, I have already caught. Then grandfather Bhishma says that you might have forgotten mathematics. According to the calculation, it's yesterday was the day, end of the thing. And do you think that Pandavas is so foolish to reveal themselves? So there was back and forth going on, and there is a sea, there is an ocean of army there, and Arjuna single-handedly he hit and he fought with each and every warrior there in the battle. So that is his valor. That is his valor. We won't go into the details, but he has Karna come in front of him, and he, with his arrows, he made him swoon, like he fell unconscious, and his driver has to take him back. And Karna's brother was next to him, and Arjuna immediately killed him. So with all this, so that is the valor of Arjuna. And his son Abhimanyu, and he also fought the war. As the war is progressing, and one of the days, Duryodhana again planned that, okay, when Arjuna is in the battlefield, it's very difficult. So he asked Susharma to again trigger the army to take him very far, so far that he will not be available in the vicinity. And on the day they were trying to do this Chakravyuha. So this is like strategies in the battle. And in this Chakravyuha day, they wanted to trap, because they know the opposite party, Kaurava party, know that only Krishna, Arjuna, and Pradyumna, apart from these three people, nobody knows how to come into Chakravyuha and how to go out, right? So it's a very, very big strategy. But Arjuna, because he knew, they wanted to take him out. So when a warrior asks for a dual fight, Kshatriya cannot say no. So Susharma comes and invites Arjuna, and he takes him deep into the fight. And Susharma, Trigarta army, Narayana Sena, and all these about 3-4 senas, they all go and they are fighting with Arjuna, and they take him so deep into the fight, miles and miles away. Now here, Chakravyuha is formed, and then Pandavas, the remaining Pandavas, doesn't know how to enter. So everybody is like now worried. So at that time, Yudhishthir remembered once Arjuna saying that when I was telling Chakravyuha to Subhadra, Abhimanyu overheard it. So Abhimanyu knows how to enter into that. So then finally, all the conversation, they'll send that, okay, Abhimanyu is the son of Arjuna. So he says that, okay, you go, and then we will come behind you. We'll come behind you, and then we'll protect for you. And this is like the formation is so meticulously done that as soon as the warrior enters, they wanted to close it. And then because of Lord Shiva's boon, Jayadratha was able to stop the remaining 4 Pandavas, although they said they wanted to go in. Now this boy, 16-year-old boy, Abhimanyu, he went inside. And then his wife is pregnant, and she's carrying Parikshit Maharaj. So this Abhimanyu, he goes into the war, and then he was pounding. He was going as if he's a blazing ball of fire, and then he's going as if a lion is chasing a group of elephants, and he's killing so many warriors on the ground, so many elephants, so many horses, so many soldiers, so many rathis, and all these great warriors he was killing. And then immediately all these people like Karna came, and he has a kavach. And still, when Karna came, he was able to shoot the arrows on his shoulders in such a way that it could pierce his armor and it could pierce into his body. And then Karna got fainted. So then after that, Dushasan, Duryodhana's brother, he came, and then he was wounded. And Ashwatthama came, he was wounded. Kripacharya was wounded. Everybody was wounded. Like whoever comes, everybody was wounded. And he's killing hundreds and thousands of soldiers. So he's going and he's creating havoc. He's ripping havoc in the opposite army. And everybody was looking at this boy. He was so handsome. He's so beautiful. And then he's like blazing sun in that battle. And his valor was so great that even Kaurava started clapping the way he was fighting. So then Duryodhan came and he said, now we have to form a strategy to somehow stop this person. If he is not stopped, then we won't have any chance. He will probably wipe out the entire army. So we have to do something. Then Dronacharya says that we cannot do anything with him. Can you see any kind of weakness in him? There is no chance that he's exhibiting any weakness. He's fighting like a lion there. There is no chance. And then there's a long discussion, and they said we should kill him by unfair means. So then they form a strategy in such a way that Karna will cut the bowstring of Abhimanyu. And as soon as he does that, Ashwatthama will kill the horses, and Kripacharya will break the chariot. And then, so like that, all the 6 great warriors, the code of conduct is one Maharathi should fight with another Maharathi. Now here 6 Maharathis are engaging at a time from behind, from the sides, from all sides, and then they are doing different things. one person is aiming at horses and killing the horses, one person is killing the chariot driver, one person is dismantling the horse, one person is shooting arrows, and one person is secretly from behind. He's not from the front, so he's cutting the string of this warrior. So in spite of that, he immediately the whole thing is dismantled, and everybody is gone. Abhimanyu immediately jumps into the air, and then he displays various motions known as Korishka. So this is a motion where he can jump and he can stand in the air for some time. And then he's looking, and everybody was looking at him as though what is the time that he will land and whom he will kill. And in that, he took out his sword, and then he's attacked from several sides, and somebody again dismantled his sword. And then finally, all these people have collectively come and killed Abhimanyu. It was a very, very sad story and very, very sad sight. And it is such a very unheroic to put down a hero like that. So that is the father of Maharaja Parikshit. So Parikshit Maharaj was in the womb. So Parikshit Maharaj is in the womb of Abhimanyu's wife, in the mother's womb. And after this war, everybody is dead. And Ashwatthama, at this time, he throws. Ashwatthama is left, and almost all the army of the Kauravas is wiped out in the 18-day fight. And Ashwatthama, he knows how to invoke Brahmastra. So the way he got the Brahmastra is, when his father gave the Brahmastra to Arjuna, he said that I also want this, otherwise I'll die. So by unfair means, he got how to use this Brahmastra. He knows how to use it, but he does not know how to retrieve it. So he tries. Now he sees that all the Pandavas, after the Pandavas won the war, then he, in the middle of the night, he goes and he cuts the heads of all the sons of Pandavas, thinking that they are Pandavas. But in the morning, he came to know that they are not Pandavas, but in fact, they are the sons of Pandavas. Now, after all this, Draupadi still forgives, because he's from a Brahmana family. He's the Brahma Bandhu. One who does not exhibit the characteristics of a Brahmana is called Brahma Bandhu. Because he did this heinous act, he is no more a Brahmana, but he is a Brahma Bandhu. Still, he is our teacher's son. And then she tells that we'll forgive him. So that is the nature of a Vaishnava. So a Vaishnava can go to that extent that Draupadi, she lost all her 5 sons, and yet she forgave the person who killed all her 5 sons, thinking that if we kill this person, his mother will cry for her. And I don't want the pain that I am going through to be had for Kripi, who is the wife of Dronacharya, who is the mother of Ashwatthama. So that is why Krishna sees that kind of a compassion. Krishna becomes dear to somebody who has such kind of a compassion. That is why he likes the Pandavas, he likes Draupadi. So that is the reason, because they are all devotees. And then here, Ashwatthama, when he's left without killing, he uses the Brahmastra. He sends that Brahmastra to kill Parikshit Maharaj, who is not born yet. He's in the mother's womb. And then this whole Brahmastra is coming, and when it is coming, immediately Uttara started praying, Krishna, Krishna, please, please, please save my child. I don't want him to die. My life can be taken, but I want to protect my son. So this is also one of the nature of a devotee. If you see, she knew that, Krishna could have protected her husband, but in the battle, Abhimanyu died, and she did not question, and she did not change her mind. why should I ask Krishna? I will approach it in a different god. She did not do like that. So she still approached Krishna. So as soon as she prayed, because in the Paramatma, Krishna is in the heart, immediately Krishna went into the womb, and then he diffused the Brahmastra, and then he saved Maharaja Parikshit. So Maharaja Parikshit, he saw Krishna before he was born. He saw Krishna, he saw the beauty of Krishna. And that is his greatness. Before he was born, he had a darshan of the Lord. How many people get that kind of an opportunity? So many yogis are doing tapasya, and then they could not get the darshan. So that way, Maharaj Parikshit is so special. And then after a few days, Maharaj Parikshit is born. And then the Brahmanas look at his birth chart, and then they start saying that, wow, this child is extremely great. In maintaining all those who are born, he's like Ikshvaku, who is the son of Manu. And in following the Brahminical principles, especially true to his promise, he's like Lord Ramachandra. He's so munificent donor of charity and protector of the surrendered, like King Shibi. And he will spread the name and fame of the family like Bharata, who's the son of Dushyanta. And amongst the bowmen, is as great as Arjuna. So this Parikshit Maharaj is as great as Arjuna in the bow, in using the bow. And he's irresistible as fire. He's unsurpassable as ocean. He's as strong as a lion. And then he is forbearing like the earth, and he's tolerant like the parents. And then they were continuously glorifying him. He's as munificent as Lord Shiva. And he's in the equanimity of the mind, he's like King Yudhishthir, Maharaj Yudhishthir. And then by following in his footsteps, he's as good as Lord Krishna. And in magnanimity, he's like Rantidev. In maintaining religion, he's like Maharaj Yayati. In patience, he's like Bali Maharaj. As a staunch devotee of Krishna, he is like Prahlad Maharaj. Look at the glorification. So these were the glorification that is done according to the birth chart. And the Brahmanas were saying that this is such a glorious person who took birth. And the Pandavas were so happy. And eventually they give him the kingdom, and then they go and then they retire. So then Maharaj Parikshit is actually ruling. He is ruling the country. And then he was so dharmic, and he was so great, and he's taking care of the citizens in a very nice way. And everybody, I mean, the crops were there, the rainfall was good, and the crops were growing nicely. Everybody's getting enough food, and then there is no problem of any dacoits, any thieves in the country. When I say country, Parikshit Maharaj is actually ruling the entire Earth planet, all the continents, all the countries, everything put together. Whole Earth planet is under his jurisdiction. Because when Pandavas won the war, it's a world war, and they gained the entire supremacy on the earth. So that is Parikshit Maharaj. And look at his valor. He is coming from the family of Arjun, grandson of Arjun, and is a son of Abhimanyu. And everybody, like Arjun is a great devotee of Krishna. And the Pandavas are so dear to Krishna. So Krishna has spent so much time with the Pandavas during their exile, during the time of the war. And Krishna himself went as a chariot driver to drive the chariot of Arjuna. Just imagine how dear Pandavas are to Krishna. And then he was constantly protecting Arjun, and he was constantly guiding them and taking care of them. At some point, Krishna himself went as a messenger. And when he was going as a messenger, Yudhishthira even stops him, begs him, my dear Krishna, please don't go. Duryodhana is so evil-minded that he will not only listen to your words, but he may do inappropriate things. And still Krishna goes just to make sure that the people in the coming generations, like all of us, will not blame Pandavas for going into this war to get back their kingdom. That is not what they want. According to Kshatriyas, they cannot go and beg. and live. That is adharma. According to Kshatriya, they have to rule the kingdom. In order to rule the kingdom, they should have a kingdom. So finally, they went to the extent of asking, give us 5 villages, 5 small villages, and then we will dharmically, just rule those villages. And then while Krishna was saying these words in the assembly of Dhritarashtra, in the Kuru assembly, Duryodhana, he stands up and he walks out 3 times. Just imagine a very important discussion is happening among elders, and it is about you. And if you walk out of that room 3 times, it's so disrespectful. And still, again, the king immediately calls somebody and then brings back Duryodhana. And finally, he tries to catch hold of Krishna and seize him and then capture him so that, the Pandavas get dejected and don't even come for a war. So that was the plans. But Krishna went to that extent to kind of going as a peace messenger to kind of resolving this situation. But he said that forget about 5 villages. I wouldn't even give the land that is held when you prick a needle in the ground. It's so tiny, the needle. When you prick it in the ground, how much ground does that hold? Nothing, almost. So he says that I won't give even that. So at that time, the war has started. And then, so that same Krishna, he is so loving to his devotees, not just his devotees, anybody who is born in the dynasty of the devotees. So when Prahlad Maharaj also, when he says, after killing Hiranyakashipu, Lord Narsimhadev asks, my dear Prahlad, I'm so happy about it. Ask me a benediction. Prahlad Maharaj says that, my Lord, I don't want to do business with you. You appeared and that's so great. I don't want anything from you. The Lord says, no, 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 I am so happy. I want to give you something. Please ask. Then he says, please forgive my father. He went against you. Please forgive. Then the Lord said that because he is your father, what about forgiving him? I liberated him. Not only him, 11 generations before and 11 generations forthcoming, everybody is liberated. Look how much love he showed because a devotee is in that family. So many people got liberated by the Lord without even asking. Prahlad Maharaj asked was only to forgive his father. But the Lord said, what about forgiving? I have already liberated all 11 generations, 22 generations. So that was the love. And then look how the Lord appeared in the Bali Maharaj. So Bali Maharaj is the grandson of Prahlad Maharaj. And then he appeared and he saved Bali Maharaj. And he gave personal audience to him. And then he's residing in Sutala Loka, guarding that particular planet from all kinds of problems or attacks. Lord Krishna, in the form of Vamanadev, he came and he delivered him. So that same Lord, he went into the womb of Uttara to save Parikshit Maharaj. So that is the greatness of Parikshit Maharaj. So Parikshit Maharaj is ruling the world so nicely because he's dharmic. Everything was good. There was sufficient rainfall, sufficient food, no thieves, no dacoits. Everybody was happy. And then he made sure that every time everybody gets everything. There is proper punishment given to the people who are wrongdoers. And then there is proper reward for the people who are working. And because he's ruling very, very efficiently, the whole kingdom was happy. If you see in today's scenario, there is so much havoc in this whole any government. If you see United States, US government, Indian government, be it Ukraine, Russia, everywhere, it is so much confusion. So many people are unemployed. So many people are starving. There are so many thieves. There are so many dacoits. There is so many things going on. Wars are held. Like we have seen the valor of Arjuna and Abhimanyu. Look how they fought. Those are the leaders. But in today's leadership, if you see the so-called leaders, they'll be in their control rooms and they'll send the drones, and in the middle of the night using cameras to see the high zoomed in pictures and kind of see if there is any kind of a person that they wanted to kill. They'll just bomb with a missile, and that missile blows and the whole area, women, children, everybody is killed. That is not that is cowardice. In the middle of the night without any warning, you're doing this sitting in some control room. That is not Kshatriya mentality. That is an act of cowardice. And because the society is so degraded, they are choosing these kind of leaders. And because the leaders, the king of the states or the rulers of the states are so degraded, they are womanizers, and then they're drunkards, and then they're looters. They collect tax and they do not do a good job for the citizens. Because of that, everybody is suffering. So Krishna, if you see all his activities, whenever he appears, is one of the main activity that he does is he will establish great leaders. If you see the whole Pandava Kaurava war, Kuru war, warfare, he wants to establish Yudhishthir as the king. And if you see in anywhere, he wants to establish. When Lord Ramachandra comes, he goes to Sri Lanka, he kills Ravana, and then he establishes Vibhishana as the king. So like that, anytime the Lord comes, one of the activities he will make sure is to establish a very pious, a very devoted, a soul who is very, very magnanimous soul to rule over the world. And when that happens, everything is automatically nourished. So that is what Maharaj Parikshit was doing. So everybody was happy. The whole earth planet was flourishing nicely. And one day he went, and in an incognito mode, not as a king, but he also goes and kind of sees who is right and who is wrong. One day he was going and and then he looks at a place. So by this time, Kali Purusha. So Kali Purusha is Krishna told in Srimad Bhagavatam. Krishne swadhamopagate dharmagnanadibissaha kalo nashtadrisha mesha puranarko dhunoditaha. When Krishna went, dharma gnanadibissaha, dharma and gnana also went with him. That is why in this age of Kali Yuga, there is no dharma and gnana, if you see. And in order to give light in this Kali Yuga, puranarko dhunoditaha, he came in the form of Srimad Bhagavatam to give the light. So if we take and if you read Srimad Bhagavatam, it is actually having association of Krishna. When Krishna went, again he appeared in this Kali Yuga in the form of Srimad Bhagavatam. That is why we should always take shelter of Srimad Bhagavatam. And Maharaj Parikshit is a Bhagavatottama. He's one of the greatest devotee. So he saw that a cow and a bull is having a conversation. So the cow, the mother earth, took the form of a cow, and dharma, the religion, took the form of a bull, and they are having a conversation. So mother earth is asking, my dear bull, look at you. Your 3 legs are cut off. You're bleeding. You're standing on only 1 leg. What is happening to you? And the bull is asking the cow, my dear mother cow, what happened to you? You are trembling in fear. You're urinating. And then you are sick. And you look very emaciated. What is happening? So the earth took the shape of that cow, and Dharma and the cow are having this conversation. And when Krishna left, Kali Yuga, Kali Purusha, who is the personification of Kali, has to enter, because that is the nature of this yuga. But Parikshit Maharaj is ruling the country so nicely that Kali Purusha is finding it very difficult to find a place to reside. He's trying to creep each and every place, but he's not able to find a place. Then Then he saw Parikshit Maharaj during his hunting expeditions. He saw one very gently and somebody dressed like a king. He actually dressed like a king, but he's beating the cow. And the cow is trembling. It is passing urine and stool, and it is in fear. And this person is beating the cow. Immediately, Parikshit Maharaj immediately went there and he took out his sword. And he immediately he was ready to kill that particular person. And he immediately asked him, "Who are you? You looked and you dressed as though you're a gentle king, as though you're a king you dressed, but you are acting in such a way that you are performing such a heinous task of hitting a cow." Now, in today's scenario, there were slaughterhouses. If Maharaj Parikshit was here, he would have blasted completely the slaughterhouses. He would have gone and killed each and every um, thing to establish dharma. But he saw somebody beating the cow, and he saw the cow in fear. And Srila Prabhupada says that when we talk about citizens of the country, it's not that just the human beings of your own country, like United States citizens, they take care of citizens from United States, and Indian government takes care of citizens of India, so-called take care. So all these people are trying to do that only to human beings. They restrict to human beings, and that too sectarian here. You're from that country, I'm from this country. Look at Maharaj Parikshit. He saw everybody as a citizen, including the cow, including the animals, including the trees. Bhagavad Gita says, Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Gavihastine Shuni Chaiva Swapakecha Pandita Samadarshinaha. Vidya Vinaya Sampanne, anybody who is learned, a Pandita, what does he do? When he looks at a Brahmana, when he looks at an elephant, when he looks at a cow, when he looks at a person who is eating the flesh of a cow, everybody with equal vision. Can you just imagine? That is the vision of Maharaj Parikshit. And he was looking and he's thinking that my citizen cow is being punished by this person, and this person is dressed falsely as though he's a ruler, as though he's a king. I wanted to immediately punish him. And without any delay, he immediately took this sword and then he immediately wants to chop off his head. But he asked, "Who are you?" But when he was doing that, immediately the person, the Kali personified, he fell at the feet of Maharaj Parikshit. Now, this is one of the sign of a great Kshatriya. When somebody surrenders to you, they will not kill them. So he asked, "Who are you? Why are you beating the cow?" Then he says that, "Oh, my dear Lord, my Lord, I'm so sorry. I am Kalipurusha. I came and I'm looking for a place to live. And in your country, there is no place for me to live. So as soon as he takes shelter, he cannot kill him because he fell at his feet. It's very adharmic for a king to kill somebody who is taking shelter of his feet." So he says that, "Okay, you cannot live this, you cannot do these kind of activities. Next time, if I see anything like this, I'm not going to tolerate." So he gave a stern warning. And then Kalipurusha requested him, "My lord, tell me where I should live." Then he says that, go find a place where there is meat eating, where there is intoxication going on, where there is illicit sex going on, and where there's gambling going on. So these are the 4 places you can go and you can stay. Now those are the 4 places which are the pillars of sin. That is why Srila Prabhupada started this movement before anybody getting initiated. He said that no meat eating, no illicit sex, no intoxication, and no gambling. Because when a person does this, he will lose anybody who is involved in illicit sex. He cannot be clean. Anybody who is killing or eating dead animals, he cannot have mercy. And anybody who is doing the gambling, he cannot be truthful. So without these fundamental qualities, nobody can progress in the spiritual path. So when when Kali heard these places, now he again put another question. Oh my Lord, I went all around the earth. All around the earth, you are ruling. But I have never seen any place which has these things. There is no meat eating going on anywhere on planet Earth. There is no intoxication. There is no illicit sex. There is no gambling going on. Tell me where I should live. Now Parikshit Maharaj says, he gives him another option. Go and reside where there are large reserves of gold. So that is an option. So whenever there is a large reserves of gold or money, there is automatically the influence of Kali will be very high. And these four impure places will be enriched with Kali. That is why you see in these places, the environment is very harsh and intolerable. So that's how is the conversation. And then he looks at the cow and the bull, and he asks the bull, my dear bull, you're standing on one leg and you all your three legs are cut off. What happened? Who did this to you? What is the reason for this situation for you? And the bull started speaking to Maharaj Parikshit. Says, my dear sir, after seeing you, I lost my fear. I became fearless. So this is the Dharma, the bull, who's talking to Maharaj Parikshit. And he says that we don't know the root cause of our sufferings. And he says that Advaitavadis, they says that this is Atmanam, one's own self, which is the cause of their own problems. Daivagna philosophers, they say that this is all from the Daivam. This is all from the supernatural people that all these problems are happening. The Mimamsakas says that one's karma, one's own activity, one's previous life, the karma they did, and that is what is they are reaping right now. Whatever the problem comes is because of the karma. And Lokayatas, they say that it is all the swabhava, it is the nature, it is the nature of the person, and that's why they suffer. And they also say Vaishnavas, and they say that Vaishnava says that no one can ascertain the cause of the distress by argumentation, by imagination, or by words. Nobody can tell. So then immediately Parikshit Maharaj understood, oh, this is Dharma speaking. Otherwise, this particular bull is talking like Dharma. Nobody can have this kind of a knowledge because Parikshit Maharaj is already equipped with all this knowledge. He understood you are Dharma. I'm talking to Dharma. So that's how this episode it shows how Parikshit Maharaj is going on a trips to kind of see the welfare of the citizens. Citizens include everybody, all living entities. And he could not tolerate somebody beating a cow. Now, what to speak of killing a cow, which is rampant in today's society. So that Maharaj Parikshit, one day after this conversation, again, he's going for hunting. And this time, he's very thirsty. Suddenly, he's very thirsty and he's hungry. And he is a little bit confused and he wants water. So he looks around and then he stops in a hut. And then he goes into the hut. And then he actually wants some water. So he says, is there anybody here? I need some water. So he was expecting, because he's the king, he was expecting that somebody will receive him and give him a glass of water or a jug of water so he can quench his thirst and then take his journey back. And he saw Shamika Rishi, he's in trance. He's in deep meditation. He's not at all moving. And in his deep meditation, he did not hear these words that the king is saying, I need some water. Can you please give me some water? So immediately he said that this is so disrespectful. I came here, I'm thirsty, and I'm also the king of this region. Usually, when the king comes, wherever he goes, everybody, it's the duty of the citizens to kind of receive the king and just do what the king asks. That is also dharma. So he knows dharma. So I mean, he came for some water, but he did not. He got a very cold reception, and then because he got that, and then he looked around and he saw a dead snake on the ground. So with his vow, he took the dead snake and then he put it as a garland to the Shamika Rishi who was sitting in trance. And then he goes away. And as Maharaj Parikshit was going, he was thinking, what if the sage is actually in trance, is meditating deeply, and then he did not hear my words? Did I do a mistake? Why did I do this? Why did I put the dead snake around his neck? I did a big mistake. So this is the heart of a Vaishnava. A Vaishnava, whenever, see, he did this activity, doing the activity is one, but like reflecting on that particular activity and then doing like either thinking that I did something wrong and thinking that I have done this aparad and asking for an apology. And so this is the heart of a Vaishnava. So now he went to the extent that deep inside he's praying to the Supreme Lord. Oh, my Supreme Lord, I did such a great offense today. I have put a dead snake on this particular person's neck. Now, please punish me. Let me be devastated by this. Please, please punish me. Do not spare me from this. Give me such a calamity that I will never, ever again in future do this kind of an activity for anyone. So that is the nature of a Vaishnava. He's burning inside. He's burning inside. Why did I do this activity out of this? And then while he was thinking like that, the sage was still in trance, and the son of the sage, his name is Shringi. So he's a little boy, small boy, and he's going and playing with his other friends outside. And from sources, he came to know that king walked into the house and then he put a dead snake around his father and then he left. Now he was so furious. This boy was so furious. His eyes became red. And then he took his Brahman thread and he took the water. And then he sipped some water and he uttered a mantra. And he said that, do these kings think that they have become grown better than the Brahmanas? Do they think that they're higher than the Brahmanas? Do the kings think that we are under their jurisdiction? Do they not know the power of the Brahmanas? I'm going to punish him. I'm going to teach this person a lesson. And then immediately he sipped the water and then he took the Brahmana thread and then he uttered the mantra. And he said that 7 days from now, whoever did this to my father, he will be bitten by a snake bird and he will die. Takshaka bird. So he's such a innocent and immature boy. And out of pride of the Brahmana's son, he uttered those words. But in those days, people were pure, and when the Brahmana says something, it would happen. So immediately that came into effect. And in the meantime, Shamika Rishi, he came out of his trance and he looked, there is a snake around his neck. So he removed that and then he put it aside. He didn't even bother. Like, first of all, he was not thinking that how did this snake come upon me? Who put this? He was not at all agitated. He was in equilibrium. And then he also understood that Maharaj Parikshit came and he understood he's a Rajrishi. He's not just a Raja, he's not just a king, he's also a Rishi, he's a sage. Although he's ruling this whole kingdom, he's also a sage. So now he's thinking, my son is such an immature boy. What kind of a calamity he has caused? What did the king do? He did not do anything. He asked for some water. I did not respond. And because of that, he put a dead snake around my neck. That's okay. That's not at all a problem. I was not hurt by it. Nothing happened. This is not a serious offense. This is not an offense at all. But what my son did is a great offense. How can he curse to have that such a great king die in 7 days. If that king dies, this whole earth is going to go in a calamity. It is going to be disastrous for the humans, and all living entities are going to get troubled because he's such a dharmic king. He's a Raja Rishi. Because he is ruling, dharma is prevailing. Because he is ruling, everybody is peaceful. Now, if he dies, everything is going to go so bad. And then he also understood that he's a Vaishnava. And deep inside, he was thinking that, oh, please arrest my boy and punish him or counter curse him. But he's also thinking in his mind, he was going back and forth, and he was thinking that no, Maharaj Parikshit is such a great Vaishnava. He's a Mahabhagavata. He will never retaliate. He will never take revenge. Right? One of the qualities of a devotee is when somebody insults them, when somebody does not pay attention to them, when somebody disregards them, when somebody defames them, when somebody tries to destroy them, even kill them, they will not have a vengeful mentality. They will not take revenge. So he's thinking like this. Now that Rajarishi, Maharaj Parikshit, the Mahabhagavata, he is not going to retaliate. And he's going to take this curse upon him. And Maharaja Parikshit also, he understood this curse is being delivered by this boy. Now he has the capacity. He's the king. He's the royal king. He's the majesty. He's the supreme judge. He can immediately arrest the boy and then kill him. Or he can counter curse him because he's so powerful. The king is Rajarishi. He can do he can counter curse. And he can just say that, may this curse not happen at all. He can also say that. But he took it as, oh, this is the will of the Lord. This is the will of the providence. Let it happen. Now, this is the time for me to focus. Now, look what he did at that particular moment. That is the Vaishnava quality. It's a disaster. It's the a death is imminent on him in 7 days. If somebody comes and, for no offense, like, if we do something and if we are equals, for example, if there are equals, and if somebody does something bad, that is still okay. But a very, very small, insignificant person says something really bad, or because of that, you are getting killed. Now this becomes very a source of agitation. Or there could be a question of, why me? What is happening to me? What did I do? And retaliate. I would do all this. All these things will come. But Maharaj Parikshit is such a Vaishnava, is such a great devotee of the Lord. He is such a Mahabhagavata. He accepted it. So from this, what we can understand is, we as devotees or aspiring devotees, we should learn a lot from these lessons. Look at Maharaja Parikshit, his birth. His grandfather is Arjuna, such a great uh, devotee of the Lord, such a great fighter, such a great Kshatriya, such a great king. And then his father, Abhimanyu, is such a great fighter, such a great warrior. And he himself, he's ruling the entire Earth planet. And this boy is just insignificant, a childish behavior, like cursing him. And then, so in spite of all this, he did not retaliate, and he took whatever came on his head. So this is also one of the Vaishnava thing. So when diseases come upon us, when there are criticism, when there are finger pointing, when there are abuses, now even for killing, attempts to kill, a Vaishnava, the attitude is not that they want to take a revenge. Yes, I mean, if you are a practicing devotee, you should protect yourself, but we should never be vengeful. We should not be envious of the other person. So that is one of the great lesson. And as we advance, I mean, this is a lesson for everybody. And then look what he did after that. Before that, I will go to the conversation between the boy comes, and now as soon as the boy comes, Shamika Rishi also does not go and slap him or beat him up. And what kind of this thing you did? In Srimad Bhagavatam, when I was reading that particular chapter, I felt that the whole conversation is so sattvic. Even though this whole incident happened, he did not punish his son, the Brahmana boy. And then he contemplated, and then he was looking at that whole episode, and then he was going back and forth. But the whole chapter, the conversation felt so sattvic, because when I was reading that, I was thinking, or I was expecting that this boy will be punished by his father for his act, whatever the silly mistake that he has done. But his father did not. He was also detached. So Parikshit Maharaj immediately he gave the kingdom to his son, and then he removed all the royal garments. Look at him. He's the king of the entire earth planet, and he has royal horses. There are so many beautiful horses that are gifted to him, that he has personal horses. And there are so many elephants, royal elephants. There are so many dresses. There are so many jewelry items. There are so many friends. There are so many things that he can do. He could throw a party. He could do a lot of things. But he chose instead, he removed all his royal garments. He put the dress of an ascetic, and then he retired immediately. So that is the significance, that he's always detached, and he's ruling everything very detached. So he goes to the bank of Ganga, and then Naimisharanya forest, where all the sages are there. Now everybody heard that Maharaja Parikshit got this curse and is coming and to this particular place. So everybody wants to see what is going to happen. He's a Raja Rishi himself. So Narada Muni came, Vyasadeva came, everybody came there. Name a sage in the history, everybody assembled there. Whatever the name that we heard of the sages. Vashishta was there, everybody was there. Asita, Devala, Narada. And then he goes, and then a 16-year-old boy, he walks into that. His name is Sukadeva Goswami, son of Vyasadeva. And he doesn't even wear any dress. And as he was walking, the people, the women who were bathing, they used to cover their bodies when Vyasadeva was walking, his father Vyasadeva. But when Sukadeva Goswami, who's 16-year-old boy, has broad chest and who has a beautiful face, and still they did not cover their bodies, because Sukadeva Goswami will not look at women as though differentiating them as women and others as men. So he doesn't differentiate between a man and a woman. He's seeing everybody with equal vision. So he walks there, and as soon as he walks, everybody bows down to him and gives the Vyasasana to him. And then Maharaj Parikshit, he goes, and then he prays with folded hands. He's saying, Tammopayatam pratiyantu vipra ganga cha devi dhritachittamishe Vijopashrishta kuhakastakshako va dashastvalam gayata Vishnu gata. So he's saying that, oh Brahmanas, just accept me as a completely surrendered soul. Oh Ganga, please accept me as a complete surrendered soul. And whatever this Brahmana boy created, whatever the magical thing, whether it is a snake bird or whatever the magical thing this Brahmana boy created, let that come and let that destroy me, let that bite me. But I only desire that all I continue singing the glories of Lord Vishnu. So he's taking shelter of the sages. So with this prayer, we can also take shelter of the devotees of the Lord. And then he prays, Punascha bhuyat bhagavatyanante rati prasangascha tadashrayeshu mahatsu yam yam upayami srishtim maityastu sarvatra namo dvijebhyaha. So he's saying that Punascha bhuyat bhagavat anante rati. Again, let it be that I have one pointed attention to the Supreme Lord, the unlimited Supreme Lord. Right? Mahatsu yam yam upayami shrishtim. If at all I have to be born again somewhere, if I have to take birth again, let me have Bhagavatyanante Ratihi. Let me have the attachment to the unlimited Lord, Supreme Lord. And then he's saying, Rati Prasangas Tadashrayeshu. Let me have attachment to Krishna Katha, association of devotees. Let me have the association of devotees of the Lord. And Maityastu Sarvatra Namo Dvijebhyaha. Let me have friendly attitude towards all the living entities unto the Brahmanas. So these are the things that he is aspiring. So this is also we can aspire, right? This is one of the nice prayer that we can imbibe, right? If at all we have to be born again, we wanted to have unlimited attachment to the Supreme Lord, and we wanted to have the association of his devotees, and then a friendly relationship with all the living entities. This is what the Mahabhagavata Parikshit Maharaj is asking. So following in his mood, we can also aspire to get that. So this is the success of our life, is to have attachment to the devotees of the Lord, to have unlimited attachment to the Supreme Lord, and friendly relationship with all living entities. When we have friendly relationship with all living entities, we are seeing everybody with equal vision, and there is no way, there is no anxiety, there is no kunta, it's all by kunta. So you're free of anxieties, you're always Krishna conscious. And that is what Srila Prabhupada came to give to all of us. When he came at that old age, I mean, he don't know anybody here. And he was seeing with compassion. In the United States, he was seeing everybody, there are tall buildings and everybody's thinking that they're enjoying, but actually they're suffering. And he looked at them with compassion. These people are in Rajoguna, these people are in Tamoguna. Uh, so so that this is the essence, and we can understand this from the life of Maharaj Parikshit. So I'll stop here because we are at time. Thank you so much for this opportunity. All glory to Srila Prabhupada. At this time, I would like to open for any questions or any comments.
Hare Krishna, Acyuta Kumar Prabhu. Very nice narration, and the lessons you drew from this. I have read multiple times Bhagavatam, but I did not draw lessons like that. So this was great narration, Prabhu, and particularly interesting was the example of Draupadi, who is also a great Vaishnavi, right?
Mm,
For a mother to lose all her children, right? It's very painful.
yeah,
But see how even then she forgives. Basically, she's ready to forgive, and how she is looking at from a much broader perspective, right? That okay, if I do this, just like I'm getting hurt, right? This other mother will get hurt,
mm,
right? Losing her children. This broad perspective, right?
yeah. Thank you
Um,
so much, Ashray Madhav Prabhu, for the nice comment and reflection. Yes, certainly, like one of the Vaishnava qualities, Paradukka Dukki. You know, Lord Ramachandra used to celebrate. If there is a celebration anybody citizens are doing, Lord Ramachandra would sit with them, and he's more happy than the people who are celebrating when there is a celebration. And if somebody is crying, Lord Ramachandra used to sit and cry more painfully than them.
mm,
So that is also one of the quality of a Vaishnava. Is a Vaishnava's the only dukkha of a Vaishnava is paradukka. If
mm,
somebody is suffering, that is the only suffering a Vaishnava will have. Otherwise, there is no suffering for a Vaishnava. This is
yeah,
what Srila Prabhupada was teaching.
yeah, yeah. I mean, we at least know the role models, but we yeah, I myself I can tell I'm nowhere near that. But at least that is the great thing about this Srila Prabhupada and all the other acharyas who came before that, that they saw it from another perspective, because I remember there was one this incident in Bhagavatam where Prithu Maharaj, right?
Mm,
Lord Vishnu comes and meets Prithu Maharaj, and then he also brings Indra with him because he was doing all kind of mischief, right?
mm,
And then Prithu Maharaj forgives him upon request from Lord Vishnu. And then Lord Vishnu then says very one interesting thing, that I am attracted to you because of your good qualities,
mm,
right? And this is he is not, he doesn't get attracted to a person because of austerity or power or intelligence or knowledge, but
mm.
good qualities in a person attracts Lord Vishnu, or
Yes.
Lord Vishnu, Lord Krishna, one of them, like the example you are giving in the Narsimha Dev, right?
Mm,
So and Vaishnavas, they basically, our acharyas have basically captured those things very well, basically,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
This whole what is that called? Um, not Upadesha Mitra. What is that?
Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu
Nectar of devotion.
of devotion.
Yeah. So there they have captured all the good qualities, and that how a Vaishnav cannot even, like, for 24 hours is thinking, that he's still doing less
Yes, yes.
for Krishna. Um,
And we are so fortunate to come in contact with Srimad Bhagavatam, to read about Parikshit Maharaj, about all these great devotees. And one thing about that is, like, to see how they led their lives, or what kind of principles that they are made of, what kind of character they are made of,
yeah,
and what they had. If you see, the Parikshit Maharaj had the entire world, entire earth with him.
yeah.
Nowadays, people are struggling to have one home or two homes with a lot of debt, and still people are puffed up for
Oh,
no
yeah.
reason,
I know.
right? People think that they are great, and you know, it's from these stories, from the pages of Bhagavatam, we can understand that what is actually the value, and what is actually the happiness, and what is
We
Krishna.
didn't have to worry about elections, basically, right?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. He didn't
Unopposed.
run a campaign, nothing. He's a monarch, and
Yeah.
he doesn't have an opponent actually.
Okay. I
And
think
still,
I think there is one Prabhu Paris Patel. He has a question in the Zoom.
yes, Prabhu.
Okay, so he has a question in the Zoom chat. He's saying, Hare Krishna Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. This might be a silly question, but why didn't the sage undo the curse by his son if he had the power to do so? This is from Paris Prabhu, Paris Patel Prabhu.
Okay, so Prabhu, Paris Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam. So actually, Parikshit Maharaj he's a Raja Rishi. So Parikshit Maharaj is a Raja, is a king, and also a Rishi. He's also a sage. So Parikshit Maharaj had the power to undo the curse. Parikshit Maharaj has the power to counter curse or arrest and kill that boy. But he did not do any of those activities. It's not the sage has the power to undo this curse. The sage doesn't have that power. So it's Parikshit Maharaj himself. Just Parikshit Maharaj has to say that, may the curse not attack me. And that's it. He would have lived. But he took it as the providence. It's coming from the Lord. And whatever happens in our life, this is the lesson that we have to take, that, unless it is sanctioned by the Lord, nothing happens. So whatever good that is happening, whatever the so-called good that is happening in our life is also sanctioned by the Lord. And whatever the so-called bad that is happening to our life is also sanctioned by the Lord. So that way we have to take what it comes, and that is Vaishnava etiquette. And this is the lesson that we can draw and understand. Because this world, we were told that, you go rule the world, you go make out of this world, make happiness out of this world. But in the pages of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, it is said, this is Dukkalayam and Ashashvatam. So it is clearly said that this is a place of misery, and it is not permanent. But people are trying to make this as a Sukhalayam. This is a place of happiness they are trying to make. It'll never happen. And then even if they make, it's not permanent. Temporarily they can adjust to a certain situations to do certain things to go well, but it's not permanent. So we have to first of all understand who we are, what is this world, and what is the outcome of this world, and then what we should do to make out of this body that is given to us. So Parikshit Maharaj used this as an opportunity to retire and then go hear Srimad Bhagavatam. So similarly, what we can do is, whether we are working man, whether we are working woman, whatever the business that we are doing, whatever the work that we are doing, we should do that, but we should add Bhagavatam to our life, because that is the essence. And then as we retire at some point, we should try to focus more into the Bhagavatam. That is the essence and the lesson. Thank you, Prabhu, for the wonderful question.
Okay, Prabhu, I think there are no comments online. This is wonderful. Thank you.
So there was one more.
No, that is, I think you're looking at the AI
Exactly.
outer, yeah, that's not a question. Yeah. So I think we are good. It's a great, there's a great narration from you, great lessons actually. That is the more important thing. How do we imbibe those lessons and improve our qualities? I think that is the biggest thing.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Ashray
you.
Manda Prabhu, for hosting and your kind words.
Thank
So
you.
all glories belong to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Whatever the lesson, whatever the thing that I learned is coming from my Guru Vargas. So all glories belong to them.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you.
पंचकल्पतरुभ्यस्य कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः.
अच्युत कुमार प्रभु की जय, शिला
श्रील
प्रभुपाद की
प्रभुपाद की
जय.
जय. श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय.
Thank you, dear devotees, for joining in this Wednesday class online from your busy lives. I will now close the session. Thank you again.